Many of you may be wondering how it is that you're going to take the information that we've learned in class and apply it to everyday life, and if it's even possible. Can the topics found in our communication textbook be applied to other subjects like science? I'm here to inform you that yes, they can be applied to other subjects. I recently read an article entitled Values, Creativity, and Imagination and Generalizability by Michael A. Shapiro. And in this article, he touches upon this idea. Two major ideas, values and creativity, are explored throughout Shapiro's work to understand in what ways communication skills affect other subjects, such as science. The first idea is values, which are found both in communications and science. In communications, values are defined by our textbook as commonly accepted standards of what is considered right and wrong, good and evil, fair and unfair, and so on. In this way, we use our own values that we as a society share to enhance our writings and make a bigger impression on our audience. This, in the same way, can be achieved through science and other subjects. In science, we have research that we show values that are accepted by our society. For example, in my article, they researched how men and women are both viewed stereotypically by society. They found that women are stereotypically seen as being more emotional than men, which shows that our values in society wants a man that has less emotion and a woman who can portray her emotions more easily. In science, their values can be very influential. In fact, scientists base most of their work off of two different kinds of values. Contextual values, which are the individual preferences that a scientist has, and constitutive values, which are the scientific practice rules. Much like HIPAA is regulation for doctors that has their patients' privacy is highly valued and it protects it in that way. I found it very interesting that there are two scientists that use their values and their research to enhance their data and basically what they got out of their research. The first scientist is Gregor Mendel, who, unless you don't know, he's credited for his knowledge in alleles and genes. And the second, Isaac Newton, is for gravity. Both of them had found values in their research, but surprisingly, any data that they had that didn't support their hypothesis, they rejected, which showed that they only valued parts of their data so that it would improve and support their hypotheses. The second really big topic in our book and found throughout basically everything you do in life is creativity. Our book defines creativity as using information in a way that yields innovative ideas and insights. This is how you present your information to your audience so they can take it away and they find it interesting and insightful. This also can be applied into science. For example, research, the results, they can kind of be a little boring because many times they deal with numbers. So in a way that a scientist can show their research to the general public, instead of just feeding them numbers, they'll use metaphors and analogies that can show what their numbers were trying to tell them, which, in my opinion, is very creative because when I look at a list of numbers, it can be very hard for me to come up with words and language to describe them. So data can be creative. One example of a scientist that kind of took a creative spin on things was Galileo. He was researching, looking at the moon and trying to figure out different things about it, and actually a scientist before his time, Kepler, had created laws of planetary motion. But these laws didn't really fit into Galileo's ideas based on the moon, so he rejected some of them so that it would fit his purpose a little better. However, he still knew Kepler's laws and was able to take a creative spin on it so that when he looked at the moon, he was able to see that the jagged lines on it were actually mountains, something that no one before his time had been able to see. So not only can you use these different skills, such as values and creativity, to further enhance your communication speeches, or use it in science, You can also use them in everyday life. You can use what you think is important to yourself and to society to further enhance what you do and to make it better. And you can use creativity to further exemplify it and give it out or create it out in such a way that people can see it and it piques their interest. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.